Right, so I bought this pair of speakers on eBay, and it came as a pair, and in extremely good condition. And these are the Akai SW35. And so as we look at these, it's very well. I mean, they're in great nick. I mean, you can't really say anything about the quality. I mean, in terms of physical quality, I mean, for 50-year-old speakers, they are in very, very great condition. I mean, there's not a scratch in them. They did get somewhat damaged on the corners, but I managed to touch that up. I mean, the other one's quite bad. But one thing that was seriously wrong, although they were sold as fully working, they did have sound out of them. I mean, there's a video, totally different video, of me ranting about how, terrible they are. When I received them, I was quite devastated actually, because I actually have a pair of SW30s, and that's this chap over here, which is a significantly smaller speaker. I mean, it's SW30. I intended to replace my SW30s with these. I would wanted to keep these on a different, smaller tape recorder. Anyway, coming to think of it, I thought, because I've seen several people online here and there, and I've seen loads of people here and there, and what they've done is, because these are totally sealed cabinets, there virtually is nothing around the back or the top or anything as such. I mean, there's no sort of suggestion that these can actually be taken apart. There are veins in here like that, and that allows the bass, it extends the bass response by extending the outlet, so the outlet's down here. The simple thing is, it sounds like shit. So yeah, and what was really devastating was the fact that the driver inside here was actually blown out. I mean, despite the good condition, maybe somebody overpowered it, or maybe, any of the previous owners must have done that. And when I received it, I literally was heartbroken. Really, it's one of my favorite speakers, and just to have it in this sort of condition. In fact, it's not even the sound quality. It's just more of the looks of the speaker that I wanted. Anyway, I decided to rip it up. So let's get on with it. Right. So what this actually is, this aluminium fascia here, from a few pictures I've seen online, right at the bottom here. At the bottom here, 3 screws here, and there are 3 screws up here, and we need to get to those. But you can't just pry this aluminium strip up here and at the bottom here. And what needs to be done is that you need to heat all of this up so all the glue gives way. And I'm going to start with the top and the bottom. I'm just going to use one of my heat guns here. I'm going to put this aside. And this is pretty much the same. This is much easier if you just heat the whole of this fascia up, like quite hot, say 40, 45 degrees, 45, maybe even 50, 60 degrees Celsius. And this should give way, not to go any hotter than that, or else this is a plastic ring, so it's this, and this plastic may start to melt. So you just need to heat that up enough that you can pry the front fascia off. But as for this one, it's got 3 screws here, and at the top and the bottom, so those have to come off first. Right, so what I've got here is my bench soldering station. So this is one of it's just got adjustable blow heater, so it can literally melt solder in phones and that sort of stuff. So just fire that up. You can use a blow dryer. I mean, a blow dryer would work fine, but yeah, I don't have a blow dryer at this point, so this is kind of what I'll have to make do with. So I'm gonna adjust this to relatively high temperature, say about 200 degrees. I mean, this otherwise, you know, it will not heat anything up. It's just similar to a blow dryer. You know, I can feel the heat. It's not too hot. Well, it is actually, but it's not like burning kind of hot. I'm just gonna warm this up quite a bit. The glue, if I'm not wrong, is holding this, so it's gonna, you know, I've already done one of the speakers, so it's just one of them ones. It's high time I do the second one as well. Just finished with the first one, so these are a few tools for which you got to pry mobile phones and stuff like that. They're relatively easily, you know, available. So use one of these. I'm sure I had a better one somewhere. Yeah, this big. A guitar pick would do better. So I'm just gonna turn this off. Turn the soldering station off, and so a guitar pick would do the job as well. But this is an actual pry tool, so it's just meant for prying stuff. So let's try and pry this off. If it jumps like that, you don't want a metal object, because the thing is, if you use a metal object in this, it actually would score there, and you jump like that, it can have a nasty scratch across there, and wouldn't be great now, would it? So let's try and pry this off. Yeah, let's come off with this nut, you know. It's slightly bent. I mean, you could straighten that out. It's no big deal. Yeah, so right side, and we need to do the second side as well. So just gonna rush through that and. If it jumps like that, it doesn't leave a mark because it's plastic. But just try that. Yeah, there we are. And that's off as well. So yeah. Here's the hard part. We have just gone through step one of this, and I prefer to use a screwdriver instead of something. I prefer to use a screwdriver instead of something electric on this. Right, so we've got 6 screws out, and what we've got here is that this has been held with pretty darn strong glue, and we somehow need to get that off. I fired up. So what this has actually got is several pieces of double-sided tape on here, there, and there. 3 on here if I'm not wrong, and there's 1 right up here, and it's extremely strong. You will not be able, you cannot pull this off. You really cannot pull it off. So you will have to heat this up quite a bit and turn it up to about 250 degrees Celsius. Might have heated that one enough. What we need to do is we need to pry the bottom of this and get something in to start lifting this fascia up. And what I've got is a kitchen knife. The reason being, this is quite long and you need something that will go as far as that. You can't just lift that. As soon as you lift it just a bit, it'll start having kinks in it. You have to be extremely careful as you do that. I think I might need some more heat. There we are. That's working its way in fairly. That's pushing it around my stomach. There we are. getting somewhere. Right. So as soon as you get around about halfway, you may not be able to go till the other side. So let's go off and start off on the other side. And try not to skid the knife at this point. It's your only hope. Unless you've got some form of scalpel or something of the sort that would work. But I don't think. The issue is these are made of ply, so the ply starts giving way first. But it's fine. I mean, if you're repairing them, there is no way of opening them apart from this, literally. Okay, I think I'm going to heat. It's pretty hot. And there we have it. Step one. I think we have gotten through. Yeah, gotten through the first bit of it. Literally, it's crazy. This is what it is. Right, so I've pushed it as far as I can without forcing it in or yanking it in, and just put my nail on there and see how far we are. So the second one should be around about there. Okay, so I'm just gonna heat around about there and see what happens. And yeah. Nipple and try it. Yeah, and there we are. It slides right in without much force, and yes, that's given way. It's a good sign. Pry slightly, pry as you go along. Don't pry too much for it to get kinked. Once you get about halfway, and the other side. And seems pretty stiff. Some more heat. Look at it, it's fine about that. Right. I think we've got one more to do. Right all the way up here and one right there. I think we better do that first. At this point you have to be extremely careful that this plastic does not start to melt away. Turn that off. I'll try and go up in here. Okay, that seems pretty alright, not too bad. And pry up here, it's alright. This should be ready to come right off as soon as I'm done with that side. Apply some more liberal heat on here. fairly hard to the touch. Let's pop that off. I've got a significantly smaller knife here. You don't want to pull the fascia off, even though it's that loose from that side, because it may bend that way, and you will not. As soon as you straighten it back, it will have lines and streaks in it. And there's a few issues when you are working with aluminium. Let's take that off and try the bigger one. This one. At this point, we've got the fascia off, so turn the heat off, and this is what we look like. It's got glue. I mean, it's extremely strong, still extremely tacky from 50 years ago. Yeah, that's where we stand at this point. Best bet is to pry it open. I don't have a choice. Okay, there we are. Shouldn't be too hard. Don't got any of them left. It's show time. So here we go. This is exactly what it looks like. So it's just got, I'm going to take 4 of these screws out. I'm going to take this speaker out. So funny, we just got a cream cone on it, and we'll figure out as to why it gave way and why it wasn't working. So So this is the system I was actually speaking about. So you've got there, it's in a zigzag shape like that in here. So what's really peculiar is if you can see the speaker here, which is the genuine Akai speaker. What's really peculiar about this is that it's 8 ohms, 8 watts, but the actual rating in the marketing pages was that it's rated for 15 watts. Maybe that's the peak, but it's kind of a probably metric sized 5mm or so. You want to come off behind? Yes. It's actually quite cute. So, for a start, you can clearly see that it's been off-centered. It's off-center, and it's not from factory. So it's because the actual cone is to one side like that. And the rest seems to look okay. I mean, there's not much physical damage I can see. There's literally no physical damage that I can see. But watch this. There is absolutely no play at all in this cone. You can push it, it does not go in, does not come out. But yes, this is kind of the problem. The coil must have melted inside when it was overdriven. So you notice from there, going a bit. That's virtually of no use right now because these were very, very, very high-end Fostex speakers at some point. So those of you who are aware of what Fostex are, Fostex supplied these speakers marked as Akai. So Fostex supplied these speakers. These are very, very, very high-end speakers. So yeah, a few days ago, when I received these speakers, tested them, and I found out they had 5-inch drivers. So managed to order a set of these. I mean, these were ceiling speakers, so literally was ceiling speakers, and they did come with all its shenanigans and whatnot. And what was really great was that they were the right size. Technically, they should bolt right on, so who knows. So we put it together, but if you notice, pointing here, a bit of vinyl has actually come off. And the thing is, when you put the aluminium fascia back on, this will partly still be visible. And this has happened because when I pried off the fascia, it actually bit onto some of that vinyl and scraped it off. And of course this is going to happen because these speakers were not designed to be opened in any way, and of course they were, well, good for scrap basically. And if they were not able to be fixed, or you couldn't replace the drivers, and this was really the only option, the last straw. And I've got an Edding 2000 brown permanent marker. This should be able to help me blend this in pretty well. And it's a bit red, but I mean, there's not much you can do on here, really, considering that. And let's blend that in. Got a bit of black, and I'm gonna put a bit of black in this, so it kind of looks a bit more blended in. So, get a good permanent marker and dab an ample amount on your hand. Got a tissue paper, smudge that in. You notice it's blending in, it's blending very well in. An ample amount again. Wipe it off with a tissue paper and rub that in. The reason being, you don't want it to be too strong of a black, or else you may be able to tell the gradient in there. So, it doesn't look too bad, it looks pretty much blended in, more or less. I mean, there's not much you could be able to tell. Just put a bit of black right in here. Well, screwing, it depends how you look at it, because most audiophiles will not be liking this video. Well, some of them would prefer throwing the speakers into the scrap, or into the trash, as some of you call it in the States. We call it a bin, we call it a... It'll cut off as soon as it hits the torque, so it doesn't strip and it doesn't strip the thread. That's fascia time. Let's put that back on. It's been a while since it's been off. I mean, it is what it is. I'm gonna line it up because it's really difficult to line the damn thing up once it's off. The reason I'm not gluing it is because it's not perfect anymore. I mean, yes, and what you need, a few drops of super glue, which, well, I mean, is what it is. You have to use it. It's at the bottom. Looks about right. One drop there, a drop there, and this should hold right up. I wouldn't use double-sided tape on this. This doesn't hold right. These days, unless it's 3M, nothing holds. But for super glue to hold, I might need to put some heat to it. Great, so we've got that sorted, and time for a test.
लंबी जुदाई लंबी जुदाई चार दिनों का प्यारो रब्बा लंबी जुदाई तेरे बिन दिल मेरा लागे कहीं ना तेरे बिन जा मेरी जाए कहीं ना कितने ज़माने बाद रब्बा याद दुआया